So here is that crash again from Monday. The Delta plane landing, bursting into flames, and then flipping over. Investigators remain on site, as does the plane, trying to determine what happened after the plane crashed at Pearson, sending multiple people to hospital on Monday.
Claire Newell is our travel expert and joins us now for more on this story. Claire, good morning to you. And we know that Pearson was closed for roughly 3 hours on Monday. We're hearing that affected runway actually won't reopen again until at least tomorrow. Are they still being affected in and out of Toronto and elsewhere?
Yeah, good morning. I wish I had better news, but the reality is that with two of the 5 runways closed at Pearson, I would say that flights will be affected, could be right through until the middle of next week. There have already been hundreds of cancellations and delays right across this country. And it was compounded by the fact that there were 2 winter storms in Toronto last week. Monday, the day that this incident happened, was supposed to be a catch-up day, and then the incident happened. So this is literally a perfect storm, and with potential weather coming into Toronto, it could be even worse. So I'm just advising people, if you do have flights right across the country, not just out of Pearson, double check to see whether your flights are going on time before you head to the airport.
All right, good advice. All right, Claire, so it seems there have been quite a few aviation incidents lately. 6 have made the news in just the last couple of months. Can you give us some perspective here?
So this is not the norm. There have been a real cluster of aviation incidents, and you mentioned 6. Well, it started with a flight that happened in Kazakhstan where 38 people were killed, and then a very big one on December the 29th, which was just 4 days later, where 179 people were killed in Korea. And then the incident in Washington, D.C., obviously devastating. There was an incident with 2 aircraft. One of them was a Delta flight that was on the ground that collided with a Japan Airlines at SeaTac. Luckily, no one killed there. Then the incident in Alaska with Bering Air that killed 10 people. And then this incident. So you're right. There's been a real cluster. And obviously, they're all still under investigation, whether they are weather-related, mechanical, human error. We don't know. But it is not normal.
Mm-hmm. And all of this, obviously, Claire, adding to some people's fear of flying. So what is your advice to those that are watching and maybe feeling a little anxious about getting on a plane these days?
Well, I've been talking to even the most seasoned travelers, road warriors that are always on aircraft for business, and even they're anxious. So I just want to go over the stats. So the chances of being in an aviation incident are 1 in 11 million. In a car accident, 1 in 5,000. So even though our brains know the stats, I think this fear of flying is real. And there is a really great resource. It's a website that you can go to, fearofflyinghelp.com. Free resource with really great ways of coping with your fear of flying. I mean, my worry is that people will be so afraid that they won't be able to take that really well-deserved vacation or get to visit friends or family that they've been waiting to see. So I hope that people will use this resource to get over that.
And that perspective, though, is huge because I heard even another stat that in the last 10 years, your chances of dying in a plane crash are 1 in 13 million. And when you compare that to vehicular deaths, you can't even compare.
I think it's the fear of being up in the sky in what feels like a little tube. You can't get out. So the fear is real. 1 in 6 people are afraid to fly, and that will likely increase due to this situation.
Mm-hmm. All right. Before I let you go, Claire, I want to also ask you about the tariff threats. They continue, of course. And what is the latest when it comes to Canadians canceling or avoiding travel altogether to the U.S.?
Well, an interesting study that came out in January said that 28% of people would be avoiding travel to the U.S. That was in mid-January. Just last week, another Leger poll came out saying that now 48% will avoid travel in 2025 to the U.S. So the numbers are real. And because of that, we're seeing some airlines look to maybe change the amount that they're flying into the U.S. to some of the popular cities. And that's Air Canada that's come out saying that So WestJet may look at it, and some of the other airlines. It's a bit early to say, but there's been pressure on other destinations like Mexico, Europe, Canada, where the prices have started to creep up. So hopefully some of those aircraft could be diverted and go to those destinations, hopefully bring the price down a little bit. But it's real, and it is making an impact.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Thank you, Claire.
Thanks so much.